folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It's Thursday, June 8th, and I'm going to shoot a couple videos today down here in the apiary. So it's been almost 2 weeks since the last video that you saw was shot. It's been 12 days today when I pulled those 3 splits. So I want to get into those splits and check and see if there's a queen in there. So we want to make sure that we have a queen. They should be mated by now, but maybe not laying yet. So 2 weeks is pushing it. Usually 3 weeks is when you want to go in, and you should see a laying queen 3 to 4 weeks max. So that's going to be hive number 1 and the double Apimaye split, which that's what I'm really excited to see how those 3-frame splits did in that Apimaye hive. I do see some flights coming and going out of there, and those were nice splits. They had a lot of brood on them, but you know, 3 frames, that's not a lot of bees. So let's get in there and check those out and see if we can go 3 for 3 on queens. Let's get started. Hey, real quick before I get started, someone posted a comment a couple times. It may have been 2 different people, but and it's about using, so when I was getting stung with those cheap gloves on the wrists and stuff, someone says try some nitrile gloves, and they told me about a brand, and I've always heard of this and I've seen people wearing them, but I never thought much about it. I thought, beekeeper, you want beekeeping gloves, right, with the goat skin and all that stuff, and you know, they're not cheap either. So I thought, well, I'll try it, because they really talked them up, said, man, you never get stung, and if they do, the stinger doesn't go very deep. And use glove liners, so that way you don't get a lot of sweat buildup inside the glove and they're hard to get off and all that. With these liners, they just slip right off, and also if you do take a sting, that gives you a little bit more space. So the brand of these is called Thickster, and I think they're 14 mil nitrile gloves, and they got a longer cuff, so you use the little loop on your bee jacket to keep your wrist down below this cuff. And man, I have to tell you, I wish I had known this. I've seen it before I knew about it, but I wish I'd have tried it a long time ago. These are awesome. You have much better tactile function with your hands. You can feel so much better. There's not all this floppy stuff hanging off your fingers and they don't fit right. These fit pretty snug. They are a little warmer though than the leather type gloves, but hey, to me it is worth it. And bees sting them, and occasionally the stinger, it's like it doesn't penetrate, it just goes in a little bit and it just gets stuck. It's like they can't push it on through. So yeah, these are awesome. I'll put a link below to these liners and these Thickster gloves. Man, you guys, if you haven't tried this ever, you need to try it. They are awesome. And thank you to the person that left the comment to get me turned on to these. Yeah, thank you so much. Awesome, awesome tip. Okay, here's hive 1, which was the 3rd split I pulled out of that Mondo Hive number 9. And it looks really good out on the front. I did feed these a little bit when they first got started, but I haven't fed them in a while. So this one is the one that after I did the Apimaye split, I pulled the frame out of the bottom and it had a queen on it. And I was like, man, I need a box. So I knew this spot was empty because I had just moved it out. It was a laying worker hive, and I moved it over here to hive 16. So I'll do a video on that later to see how that combined of that laying worker hive is working out. But right now I want to get in here and see if we've got us a queen going. Yeah, so the smell down here is just, you can really smell the honey. It's really strong. Lots of nectar in these hives. They have hauled it in the last week and a half. So there's a good population here, looks like. I've got my smoker here, but I haven't lit it because I really don't want to smoke these when I'm looking for a queen. And if there's a queen in here that's still a virgin queen or freshly mated, I don't want to disturb them that much and be very invasive. So I'm just going to look for her or a sign of her and get out. So I've only got 4 frames in here, and they're drawing some burr comb here on the top. They may be full, so at the least I need to add a frame. I've got some with me up there on the gorilla trailer. Okay, everyone, give me some positive vibes here. Look how calm they are. I'm liking that. Frame is heavy, full of liquid nectar. Well, there are some capped cells right there, a few. Here is an emerged queen cell. That may be from, you know, when I moved it over here. See that queen cell right there? It's open naturally. See the little pop top's been popped. So that's where the queen chewed her way out and the workers helped her. If you see one that's chewed in from the side, that's where another queen chewed in there and killed her. This frame is very heavy as well. Totally full, not totally, but a lot of nectar in there. Some queen cups right here. Those have probably been broken when I pulled that Hive 9 apart. There's a little bit of capped brood in here. I don't know if that would be from a new queen or if that's left from when I did the original split. If it were larvae at the time, it would still be capped and almost to emerge. So that's probably not from a new queen. If I remember right, this I brought an emerged queen over here on a frame. Man, there's a lot of bees on here. This is just covered. I need to get another frame in here for sure, so when the new queen does, if there is one, we'll have a place to lay. Right now this is nectar bound, honey bound. At least so far what I'm seeing it is. Same thing here. So what I've seen before on hives that don't have a queen, they will fill everything up with nectar because there's nothing there to lay. There's no queen to lay, so they don't worry about keeping her a spot. There's a few sealed brood on this as well that haven't emerged yet. Not many left. Oh, I see a queen. I almost overlooked her right there. She's a blondie. Yeah, and she looks mated to me. So let's get her another frame in here. Well, let's take a look at this outside frame just to see how much food is on it. Yeah, so they're starting to fill it up. This side here is empty. I could put this in the middle, but I'm going to go look for one that's empty on both sides and put it right here in the middle, because she looks like she's ready to lay anytime. I'm going to scoot these as far to the edge as I can so there's no danger of rolling that frame across that queen when I put that frame in there. Set this on there and we'll be right back. Okay, got us some comb from an old hive, and it's in good shape. It's ready for her to lay on. If I can find a place to set it. Okay. Get our frames tightened up. Get that burr comb off of there. Yeah, once she starts laying, I'll get these moved into a 10 frame. So awesome, we're 1 for 1. Let's go check that Apimaye, see how those 3 frame splits did. Okay. The moment I've been waiting for anyway. So one thing about these feeders, ants can still get into these just like any other feeder. So I did feed them a little bit, not a whole lot, because with just 3 frames in there, it wouldn't take them long to have too much. So you use the lid for the stand for your feeder / inner cover. And there's our first split. So I did check both of these a few days after I pulled the split, just to see if there was an emerged queen, and both of them did have an emerged virgin queen at the time. It's a little bit of liquid nectar in there, so they're doing good as far as food stores. They're not starving. They're a little grumpy. They might just be queenless. A little bit of nectar stores there. And there's some honey left over, a little bit of pollen. No sign of a queen. I'd really like to see a few more bees in here than what there are. Here's some of our brood still left. Not seeing a queen. Went and grabbed my light. I was thinking I was seeing, oh, and there's a queen. Right where I thought I was seeing eggs. She's another blondie. So yeah, she's looking right in there where I was going to shine my flashlight, because I thought I saw eggs in there, and she looks mated to me. Yeah. So this hive is not nectar bound like that hive 1 was. So we'll check her again in another week. And she's laying, we'll go ahead and move her to a 5 frame. I was afraid that these 3 frame splits would get overcrowded real quick. Doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We'll start singing my meatloaf tribute. Decent population. I mean, it's not heavy and it's not dwindling. This is my first experience with 3 frame splits. A lot of shiny nectar. Same thing on this side. Still got a little bit of capped brood left and some shiny nectar in there. Same thing here. Looks like they're just putting nectar in this pretty willy-nilly. They're not creating a place for a queen to lay. Same thing here, just random nectar storage all over the frame. Here's a pretty good deal of brood and some empty cells, so if we see a queen, I would think this would be the spot. Not seeing her. This one might be a bust. Boy, they are just fanning like crazy too. Acting like a queenless hive. Well, they're just balling up. Maybe she's on this frame and I pulled her out and that's why they're all fanning. Very rarely will you see a queen running around on a nectar covered frame like this. If you smoke them real hard, you know, you might run her around. No, I think this one's queenless, especially from the sound they're making. Well, they don't need fed anymore, that's for sure. We'll give them another week and check them again. And so the cool thing about this hive is I can combine them, just pull that divider out, and they're done. So that's a one of the advantages of having this double nuc. Okay, let's check the other Apimaye real quick. Okay, this hive here is a split from number 21. That was a single deep that tried to swarm. Well, it did swarm. I couldn't find the queen. So I just did a single split into this instead of doing it a double. And I did feed it a little bit. So there's the 3 original frames, and I put a couple of these new Pureco plastics in there, which looks like they started on this one, drawing it out nice. So this split was pulled on the 29th, and today is the 7th, I think. This is full of nectar and honey. Really heavy frame. A little bit of brood left on here from the original split. Don't see any queens there. Notice how much calmer these bees are than that last 3 frame we just checked. So there's a little bit of cat brood left around here. They're putting a little bit of nectar in there. They need to be saving this spot for a queen to lay. Don't see her, but here's one of our cells that's been opened up. It's kind of from the side too, like maybe one got it from the side, I don't know. I did peek in here a few days back and spotted the virgin queen. As soon as I spotted her, I got right on out of there and closed it back up. Well, that's a heavy one. Yeah, I see her. She is a tiger queen. Those are hard to spot. She's right there on the edge of the frame. She's still pretty small. Where did she go? Ah, she's right there on the edge where that honey is. Gosh, she looks so much like the other bees. Well, you're just going to have to trust me on this one. There's a queen right in that area, and I need to get her back in there because she don't look mated yet. Oh, she's on the honey. Right there. There's a good shot of her. Yeah. So that other queen in that other hive I missed, she may look like that. They're hard to spot because they don't have that blondish color or a dark color. They have the same stripes, just like a worker. I call them tiger queens, but there's probably a technical term for that. Okay, so they're doing good. I'd say she still needs to do some mating flights. They don't need fed. Well, that's it for this video. Check the 4 oldest splits that I've done, and 3 out of 4. I'll take that. That one may still have a queen in there, but the way they was acting, there's just too skittish. Fanning, yeah, I don't think they do. But that's okay. We'll just combine it when the time comes and boost it up a little. So yeah, I'm at 36 hives and I shoot for 30. So we're gonna have some failures with all these virgin queens. So it's inevitable. So that's just the way it goes. So give me a thumbs up on the video, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. We'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.